Happy Friday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. This is not my typical tips for success that I drop on Friday morning. This is a very important message that needs to go out to this world. I would like to introduce you to one of my friends. His name is Mike Kogan. You see his name above, you see his profile in the comment section. Please connect with him. We are here to put this message out for mental health, and my friend Mike is a therapist. Good morning, Mike. How are you doing?
Hi, Rachel. I'm doing well. Thanks for connecting with me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And Mike, what is your background when it comes to mental health, sir?
My background is I feel like I've been in mental health field for a long time, but I'll tell you more specifically. I've gotten a degree bachelor's degree in mental health specifically, and I continue on. I got my master's degree in mental health as well. But I feel like I've had so much experience when it comes to dealing with people with problems that I've really been in this field for close to 20 years when it comes to that type of experience. But I've really gotten more specifically involved over the last few years, especially because I feel like it's becoming one of the most important topics and one of the most important things that people have to deal with. And I see examples of that on a daily basis in areas which I've never imagined. So I really, at this point, basically dedicated my entire life, my 24/7 to this field. But I feel like I'm gaining more and more experience well beyond all my years in the past.
And Mike, before I ask you a couple questions, can you please tell people about Compel America? And if you look below, you'll see a link to it.
Thank you, Rachel. So, besides helping people generally deal with mental health problems and anything related to mental health, myself and several other people in the mental health field, we wanted to enable everyone in the world, really, but especially the one in the country, to be able to access mental health resources. I feel like I said before, I feel that mental health is probably one of the most, you know, underestimated and one of the most important and yet overlooked things that people have to pay attention to. And what I've noticed is that a lot of times people don't have access when they want to access mental health. There's a great deal of stigma that people experience when trying to think about or talk about or even get involved with mental health. So we created an organization called Compel, which basically makes access to mental health completely unrestricted, completely open to anyone without money, without any documents, without anything and everything. Because I feel like a lot of times when I talk about stigma, people don't want to put their names on paper. They don't want to be labeled as someone with mental health issues. And I feel that that's probably the greatest misconception and probably one of the greatest issues that the world has, where people, instead of dealing with these things, they kind of ignore them or mislabel them, or they just kind of look the other way. We really set up Compel to be the home base for people to turn to when they need help, when they need um, mental health resources and specific help directly at the time when they need it, and they don't have enough money. That's not a problem. They don't have any documents to support this mental health insurance, whatever any other typical barriers to getting mental health treatment. We eliminated all of that. We just said, call us. Anyone that wants help, please feel free anytime, anywhere, and no questions asked. And this is our hope to really spread this type of environment beyond our abilities. Really, we're trying to grow this thing because we feel like this is one of the most, as I said, one of the most important issues facing people today.
Mike, thank you so much. Mike, what, as a therapist, what are you seeing right now? What is a message you could put out? You and I talk privately. We know what's going on in the country. We know what's going on in the world. We know how it's affecting people's mental health. What are you seeing right now? I want people need to open their eyes. They know I use my voice for mental health. They know that I'm not shy about the fact that I talk about that I have PTSD. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah. I think I just said before, I see that a lot of times people ignore the importance of mental health, and they think it's somewhere else, it's someone else, somehow else. No, it's not me. No, it's actually anyone and everyone. And I feel that people don't pay attention, and because of that, I feel that mental health problems are exponentially greater today than probably ever been in the past. And because of that, people are interacting with each other on a whole different level. And I see that people are emotionally dysregulated. People are screaming, yelling to prove their point. People are acting completely emotionally charged in a way that I think never really truly, not, at least to my recollection, my own memory, I don't believe that ever happened in the past. And there's a reason for that. I think the world is, well, first of all, I think that the world has got, access to so much more information than we ever had before. And because of that, people are sometimes are unable to process that information quickly enough. They get overwhelmed. People get really taken, off guard with so much information quickly coming at them. And instead of really, like I said, dealing with it properly, overcoming that type of, anxiety and being taken off guard with that, they kind of just rush into emotional reactions and they cause more problems instead of dealing with those problems. And one important part here is that people are very different. In other words, some people are able to process things much more efficiently and does not affect them like that. However, there are so many people there are so many people that are not really able to process information and react, rationally and calmly to different things. And they react a little bit out of character.